Hey everyone, hope you are all doing great. I am Parth Guru, Events and Program Manager, Community Manager from Microsoft Reactor. And yes, I welcome you all to yet another episode of Copilot Chronicles. But before we start our today's event, let's go through our code of conduct. We all are here to learn together, participate together. So please be respectful of other people's views, understanding the differences, be kind and considerate in a way we all engage. Yes, we do encourage you all to participate. Please drop all your questions in the comment section and we will pick it up from there. And now I would like to invite our host of Copilot Chronicles, that's Kamal Shri. Hey, hi Kamal, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Parth. How are you?
I'm all well.
Great, great to know that. Yeah, I am pretty much excited again for another
Yep.
series of Copilot Chronicles because we've been getting a lot of queries, just not the studio. Can we have a flavor of Dynamics? Can we have a flavor of Azure? Can we have a flavor of Fabric? And that's when today I got in a very interesting speaker, Amit, who's going to talk about how Copilot and data agents in Microsoft Fabric. And we've been knowing more about it. So I thought, okay, also let's touch on the Fabric part and see, and who else can do a better job than Amit, who's got like 22 years of experience in data analytic industry. That is way too much. So I will not say more of it. So we will have Amit on stage, on board. Welcome, Amit.
Hey, hi Amit.
Hi Path, hi Kamal. For thanks for the opportunity and good evening, good afternoon, good morning based on the location everybody's joining. Uh,
Seriously, Amit, before diving into the topic and talking about it, 22 years of experience in data analytics industry. Tell me, how is it like 2020? I mean, I mean, 2003 to 2025. Can you give that comparison? What do you think about?
See, in 2003, when I started, I think we were talking about BI, and BI should be, front ending all the ERP sales and all those. And, data driven decision making should become key. Now, this is
Mhm.
the reality now. At that time, we were, talking basic forecasting and all those. But today we know, AI is part of it. Some of those
Uh-huh.
things were not possible, just theory at that time. And right now, today we are, doing all those stuff, talking about co-pilots and everything. At that time we were not even talking about RPAs. We were just making sure that the data comes in and displayed on those pixel perfect reports. And that's the time when we started talking about visualization, taking decisions on the dashboards and reports, which is a reality right now.
Totally agree, Amit. But I always kind of intrigued when you say 2003. Okay, let's not go with numbers. Like, say, 22 years back or 2 decades back, things were still the same. And now also things are the same in terms of data wise. But how repetitive, autonomous things are getting, that is what really matters in the AI part. So, what is your take on that?
Yeah, see, I think we have done a lot of automations. Like previously, I think it was a pretty all manual process. The ETLs were manual. There were very less tools at that time. Now I think this pretty much process automation, and now we are doing it using AI. Now we are not even have to write. We can just say tell AI to write down the code, and it's going to bring that code in for us.
Okay. Anyways, I'm not going to stop. The audience are really happy. We have people joining from Germany, Chennai. Thank you all so much for joining in. So, without further ado, Amit, the room is all yours. Go ahead. Looking forward to see what Copilot and agents, specifically data agents in Microsoft Fabric, is all about.
The floor is all
Okay,
yours.
thanks, Kamal. Thanks, Path. I think Kamal has given a good introduction, but just to for everyone's reference, I'm Amit Chandak, Data Platform MVP, Microsoft Community, Power BI Community Super User. I do have a YouTube channel and I do have a website, biworld.in, where I keep a lot of Power BI courses and Microsoft Fabric courses, all free available for everyone. And in case you want to reach out to me, these are the email IDs and my LinkedIn profile. So today, what we are going to do is today we are going to talk about co-pilots in Microsoft Fabric. But before I go ahead and start this today's demo session, just let me introduce first of all to you what is Microsoft Fabric. I know many of you are aware of this, that about Microsoft Fabric, but for those who are a little new to it, Microsoft Fabric is the platform which launched by Microsoft in May 2023 as a public preview, and it got GA in the same year in November 2023. Uh, and this platform is a great platform in terms that it's a integrated platform where you can do end-to-end analytics, everything. You need a lake house, it has that. You need Delta Lake, it has that. You need warehouse, you have that. You need analytics, um, transformation engines, it has that. So it's basically an end-to-end platform. So let's talk a little bit about the definition, and then I'll take you through a little more depth of it, and then we will discuss more about it. So Microsoft Fabric is an end-to-end analytics data platform designed for enterprise that require unified solution. It comprises of data movement, processing, transformation, real-time event routing, report building. So whatever you need. So when we talk about data analytics, we talk about we're going to bring the data, we're going to transform it. We may bring real-time data, we can bring big data, huge data, and all that we finally want to analyze it using reports, dashboards, etc. So it provides everything. So we have tools for data engineering, we have data factory, we have data science, which is using Spark notebooks. You can do, you have real-time analytics using Kusto. So everything what we need is available. So what all is there, and how this is different from getting same things from Azure? Is it a kit which Microsoft is trying to provide us? No. So this is basically a unified platform. So, and when we say unified platform, what is the difference here compared to taking same things? Because if when I talk about data factory, like data pipelines and data flow, you do have seen that in Azure. When I talk about data engineering specifically, like lake houses or data lake, or even your Spark notebooks, you have again seen them on Synapse. You have also seen them same things in Azure also. SQL databases, you are aware of Azure SQL databases. Data science, you are again aware of Spark notebooks, creating those AI algorithms. Data warehousing, we have Azure Cosmos DB, we have Azure Synapse, we have so many things. When we talk about real-time analytics, we have Event House here, we have CustoDB, similar thing in Azure. Power BI is the tool of choice for last 10 years. We are celebrating the 10th anniversary next month. And then Data Activator, real-time analytics, we have similar things. So what is the difference Microsoft Fabric is bringing in? So one thing is that Microsoft has done a ground up work. It's not a kit. All these things are going to work on a unified architecture and unified experience. It means when you are going to go to Microsoft Fabric and look at the UIs, you will not feel a difference that this is a different UI. All the experiences will tell, okay, this is the same UI. So when I look at warehouse UIs, when I look at Lakehouse UI, or when I look at any other UI, it looks all same. It gives me a unified experience. Then one more change which has been done, which is basically we have this one lake, which is the central of all, and we have a virtualized one lake for the entire tenant. What does that mean is, irrespective of the region you are, you will feel that you are using the same storage, and your region level security is taken care by workspaces. So we have unified storage. So we all sorted on the storage. Now comes the power of compute. How do we do? So all these engines, all these different engines coming from different technology, they can all use single compute. Microsoft has done a great job. So use one single compute for all of them. You can buy one F capacity, the Fabric capacity, and you can use all of them in once for them. And it is practically possible to use one, and there are a larger organization, you can have multiple capacities, and you will be able to use multiple capacities can be allocated at the workspace level, and based on that we can use multiple capacities. Then one of the best thing which I like, which has been done in this platform, is the structured data storage format has been made consistent across all the engines. So whether it is a lakehouse table, Delta Lake you can call, or whether it's a warehouse table, it is all saved in one single format, that is Delta format or Delta Parquet format. Power BI can read them same format. Data Factory can write into the same format. Notebooks can read and write into the same format. The only exception in that is SQL databases, because that is OLTP databases. Now, once you take Fabric, which is completely OLAP system, analytical transaction processing system, you may need something for building up your apps, small apps, maybe target budget saving, or maybe even a bigger app. You need OLTP database because we need faster insert, update, and delete. And that cannot be done on data format. So we have SQL database, which writes in data format, but it immediately replicates the data in data format. So it doesn't write in the data format, it writes in the optimized format for insert, update, and delete, but it immediately replicates into the data format, and that is the format which can be used for our OLTP and OLAP analysis. And you can also combine the same along with all other engines, like the you can combine it with warehouse data or lakehouse data, and create your reporting analysis together on all of them. So this is Microsoft Fabric for you. Now let's move ahead. Now in Microsoft Fabric, as you might have seen in that one of the layer was Copilot. So Copilot is available everywhere in Fabric. And we are going to look at different UIs, the transformation UI, the SQL query UI, the Power BI UI, the Power BI edit UI, or the Power BI viewer UI. Everywhere you will find that Copilot is enabled, and you will be able to create visuals. You will be able to ask questions, get the SQL query answers using the Copilot. You can develop the your transformation using Copilot. Also, there is something known as data agent, which came very recently, and the data agent is the very similar concept which you have from the Copilot Studio. You can create your own agent, and those agents you will be able to integrate with your Azure Data Foundry. So you can create the data agents here, and then you can club up them with that. So in between, if someone has posted a question, we can take that up.
Amit, we'll do one thing because we'll have a lot of questions coming, so we'll continue. And if you have some demo or something building up or deploying, then we'll take the questions. Sounds good?
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
So now what I'm going to do is I have already moved into the UI, and this is one of the UI which I have, which is app.powerbi.com. So we have app.fabric.microsoft.com. We also have app.powerbi.com, which is the older Power BI URL, and I'm using that, and we call this as Power BI experience. So in the Power BI experience, I'm there, and on the left hand side, I can choose whatever workspace I want. And for today's demo, I already created a Copilot workspace. Now for Copilot, up, uh, up to some time back, there was a limitation that you need F2 capacities, but that's not the limitation right now. We can use any Fabric capacities. And if I go to my workspace setting on the right top, you will see that I'm only using the smallest capacity available for Fabric. And I am using this from the US region, because in the US region, the Copilots is available. In India region, we have to enable the setting to share it across the regions. So F2 is the smallest possible capacity which we can use. So that is what I'm using. And so using that, I'm trying to run the Copilot on all the experiences which we are going to have, or all the workload which we are going to try out today. Now, first of all, I'm going to use Dataflow Gen2. What is Dataflow Gen2? Data flows was the previous term which we used in Azure as well as Power BI, and now we call them Dataflow Gen1 in case of Power BI. Now Dataflow Gen2 is the enhanced version of Dataflow Gen1, and we can also have a destination here. So let me click and open this Dataflow. Now Dataflow can bring in the data and can help us in transforming the data. So what I would like to do is this data flow which I have created, I would like to do certain more queries here. So I would like to use Copilot. So if you look at the UI on the top, most of the UI we will get Copilot, and we can click on the Copilot and it will get enabled. So now the Copilot is enabled here, and I can ask the question. So what I would like here is basically, I would like to add first of all a column in the sales query. And just to save the time, I already typed it. So I want to add a new column gross, which is quantity multiplied by price. So add a new column to sales query, and here we call it query. Once we save it to a lake house or a warehouse, it becomes table, but we call it query here. Add a new column to the query, gross equal to quantity multiplied by price. And it is working on that. And what would happen is it will add a new step. And in that step, what it is going to do is going to create a new column. See, you can see it's created this multiply column. And if I can show you the formula, here it is quantity multiplied by price. So it has generated a M code. This is Power Query M code. A M code has been generated and a step has been added using that. Okay, very good. So let's see, can it create little complex? I want to, add a column where I don't just want to multiply. I want an if condition. I want to say, because I have my quantities are only 1, 2, and 3. So now I wanted to add a column in sales query where quantity equals to 1 means low, 2 means, and I'm doing a spelling mistake also, medium, and 3 means high. Okay. So we are writing down quickly. We can do some spelling mistakes and everything. Let us see what happens. So now we are asking Copilot to do a little bit of more logic and add a if condition column. We are not calling if condition. We say, okay, you give us a column which means that. We are not telling explicitly use if condition, case, and everything. But as you can see here in the code, the Power Query code, on the new column, which is the conditional column which has been added, you can see it is able to do that if quantity equals to 1, then low, else if quantity equals to 2, then medium, else if quantity equals to 3, then high, else null. So it has taken care of that. So I am really happy. I see, okay, this really works. So what should I do? I said, okay, why don't I ask it to create a new query? Can it do a new query? New query means adding a new table. Now I don't want to add a table from sources. What I wanted to do here is basically add a new query. We call it query here by merging sales and item using inner join on item ID and expand item to take brand. So you have to take brand out of it. So first of all, create a new query which will have a join, and after that you expand that item. So we have to expand. It is not like a SQL query. You can simply take the columns. You have to expand that in Power Query and then take the whatever column you like. Okay, let's try out. And this is something little more than simple task, because here you need to have a new query that took joining, and after join need to be expanded, and then it need to add the brand column. Let's see how does it do this job. And you can see it has added a query. And let's understand the step in these queries. First of all, in the first step, you can say sales table is there. Then it has table from records, the item table. Then it has done the merge table also. Item ID, item table, join inner. Then expand the table. And if I show you the merge table step first of all, and let me make it a little smaller for that. Scroll down. In Power Query, it happens like, when you add a join, the other table comes as a table actually. In every row, you have a table. So what you have to do is, you have to actually expand that. And in that expansion, you have to choose a column. Okay. So item ID and brand, you have to choose that. And then what it has done is it actually expanded that into the next tab. And we got the brands. So you can see in the last step, I have brand. So in this manner, it is able to do that. Now I'm happy that, okay, it is able to work on the Power Query. I'm happy that it is able to work on the Power Query. I would now like to test on a viewer, report viewer. So I would like to open a report. So let me go back to my workspace. Let me close this Power Query now. And I would now like to open a report. And this report I am opening as a viewer, though I am at this report right now in the viewer mode. So let me open this report and let me see in the viewer mode, can I ask a question? Because that is the one of the thing which users keep on asking. They say, okay, as a developer, I can develop the code, but can I do something as a viewer? So before I go to the edit mode of Power BI and try to develop something, I actually wanted to. So I am here on my Power BI report. I have not in the edit mode. There is viewer mode, and in the viewer mode, it is suggesting me. So first question I would like to ask about my schema. I am a viewer. I don't know about the schema. What schema is that? Can I ask that? And this is little bit. This is something which is not available. I can ask about schema because the previously in the viewer mode we were only talking about what is there in the visual. But now you can see the semantic model contains of several tables which is containing various calculated column. These table include customer, geography, item, sales, measures, date, auto, and all those. So it do talk about the schema. So now I know the schema. So I can ask a few questions. Okay. So I decided that I would like to get highest city by net sales. I have a major net. So I'll say highest city and instead of buy, I'll only type B net. Okay, let's see, does it understand? And in the, because it is in the viewer mode, it cannot add the visuals right now for us. So it has to only tell us the. Okay, so the highest city starting with letter B is net of this one. Okay, we'll say, change the question, we'll say buy, and it's a different answer. In the first time when I tried out in the afternoon, it did give me the highest city. So let me correct it by saying buy net. Only thing which you will experience here is sometime, and when especially when we are working, is just one basic capacity of Microsoft Fabric. You may experience a little bit of slowness, but now it has given me the correct city by net, the top one. Okay, let me ask one more question to it. Give me a visual with top 3 brands by gross, and let me try that out. Now what I'm asking is top 3 brands by gross, not net. So gross sales is something by which I want this. And it cannot create a visual in my page. It cannot add it, but it did given me, the brands. And it say explore answer, how Copilot arrived at that. So it says data use is brand and gross. Top 3 brand by gross filter has been applied. Okay. And if you want to explore the answer, you can click here and you can explore this answer. Isn't that great? And you got an answer and you can explore it. Okay. And I can remove the filters here. I got all the brands. I can go ahead and create another kind of a visual. Okay. Can I add a data? And I do have a privilege on this actually data set because I'm admin of the workspace. This permission of adding will be entirely dependent on if you have the permission of playing around with the data or what visibility of data you have. So that will be taken care. Okay. So I will be able to play around with data. So that sounds good. But we are more interested in continuing our exploration of data using Copilot. So let's give one more question. Margin percentage, top three cities by net. Again, city spelling, I'm doing a mistake. So let's see. I want cities by net, but I want margin percentage. Let's see, is able to tell me that answer or not. Okay, so it does give me the brand. If you remember, Los Angeles was coming previously, so 12%, New York, Chicago. So these things are coming by margin percentage. Okay, and sometime it may happen that you ask for a net, it may give margin percent. Those kind of things happen. That's the Copilot maturity as it comes. Now this is the viewer mode. Let's say if I want to edit this report, do I have the Copilot here? I do have a Copilot here. Okay, so here this is a Copilot which can create a page, suggest the content for the page, and ask question about data. Okay, let's see, let's try out. So what I want to do here is create a page to analyze net measure by brand, category, city, and provide a trend of net 2. So I'm asking multiple things and I'm saying create a new report page, a page or new page. Let's see. Let's do a little bit of corrections here. And let's enter this. So is this able to add a new page for us? So we wanted a new page in the edit mode. And again, it's governed by permission. I have edit permission on this report. And as you might have seen already, it started processing it. It started working on that. And let me hide some of the panes so that we get little wider area when it creates. It added a new page for me actually. And what I asked, brand, city, category, trend, and it did added itself a card visual with the net. Auto designed page is available. Only thing is just go ahead and do your changes, do arrangement and done. So as a designer, I can create pages, I can write down code. As a viewer, I can ask question and get my own answers. And I can play around with those answers if I have permissions. So Copilot is enabling me both the ways. As a designer or as a programmer, it is helping me to save my time by writing down the piece of the code, which I could have taken a lot of time to do that. And here, look at, I would have dragged this for visual, drag each and every measure and everything. It just taken few minutes and done that. We could not have done faster than that. Okay, it sounds really great. But let's see, does it work on desktop or it only works on the edit mode? So what I've done is I have opened the similar file on the Power BI desktop also. And in Power BI desktop also, I have a Copilot. Let me try to enable that. It is asking me to select a workspace. The workspace should have a fabric capacity. So I'm selecting a workspace which is having a fabric capacity and it is allowing me that. Now, there is a prep data for AI, which can also be used to prepare data before we do all these things. But what we are going to do is we just wanted to first explore it before preparing it. So same thing we going to do here. First of all, tell me about semantic model. We have asked on the viewer, and we are asking almost similar question here on the designer now. It's the same model. Let's see how different the answer is for designer versus the viewer. And we are loading this F2 capacities right now. Is the same F2 capacity doing the job for us? Okay. The semantic model is designed, so it did not understand that I'm asking about it, but it did tell one of the possible application to analyze the net data. Okay, it did tell me, okay, you can explore sales data, customer information, item details, geographical data. So it has given me information. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's do one thing. Let's do the same question here. Let's try to add a page. So we'll copy paste the same question there on the desktop. So this was the uh, web version, and this is the same thing in the desktop version, Power BI desktop. I'm giving the same instruction here. We already used to have a Q&A visual, which was doing a job of communication with natural language already. This is not something which is very new to Power BI. We have Q&A visual for long. So you can see almost similar kind of stuff has been created, but we got brand, net trend, and then we also got one more net trend, which is a little different, and net category, and we have total net. So we have two major. If you look at this major, would be a little different here. Let's look at what major it is. So there is a total net major, and that's why if you use total net or something, then it get confused. So if you have very similar kind of a major, then you need to be very specific, only net or total net, and that is why you see it created a page where it used net as well as total net, and that's why you also get two KPIs: total net KPI and net KPI. So we need to know. Now what we can do is basically we can do a prep for data. We can train it. So I clicked on this prep for data recent feature called preview. You have to enable it. You have to enable the preview prep for data. I want to give some instructions. Simple data schema, verified answer. I can add AI instructions. Okay. So first of all, I would like to add a AI instruction. So I did this AI instruction already. I did tell about the relationship, and I did talk about aggregations and all those. Okay. And then I can close this, and then later on I can add the verified answers and add AI instructions. So AI instruction I already added. So verified answer is that I go to this visual, and then on the visual I have option set up as verified answer, and I can call this as trend for sales or net sales. Add, apply, and I can close this now. So let me do little stuff. I've trained this with AI instructions. So let me do one thing. Let me ask it some questions. So let me ask, give me a major that gives me top 10 cities by, and let me include net in the top 10 cities by net, which I will use in table visual city, and it should show 10 rows. And the reason is sometimes it use concatenate X and just give me 10 cities concatenate. I not wanted that. So I want to specify that I'm going to use this major inside my table visual. So table visual need to take care of few things. So I'm expecting either it should use top and or window function or something like that.
Amit, maybe we can have one question in the meantime, just to,
Yeah.
yeah. So one question is like, is Fabric only available with Power BI premium capacity P1 or higher?
So fabric. So to buy to have fabric, you need few things. One is you need a fabric capacity which start from F2 and goes till F2048. P1 capacity in Power BI world is equivalent of F64. So you don't require premium or onward. Yes, if you are on premium, you are fabric. But if you are not fabric, you can buy any capacity which start from F2, like just like one I am using,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go ahead and do use that. The another thing is it requires a one lake storage which automatically comes. Even if you don't do that, you will be start getting charged for your one lake storage. And because it's Azure, so it's typically Azure billing, you need to have a compute, you need to have storage, and transfer prices as applicable. So you can start with an F2 capacity. It is as low as $262 for East Coast per month unreserved capacity. Reserve
Perfect.
capacity you typically save 41%.
Mm-hmm. Okay, one more question before we continue. Can Fabric integrate with and consume real-time video stream data from meeting, bots, team videos?
So we have something known as real-time system, which is basically what you call here it event house or custo DB. But to capture that, you need to have the data coming either from event stream or event hub of Azure or Kafka streams. So we can capture real-time data and display real-time dashboards also. The only thing is how you're going to get it.
All right, the floor is all yours. Please continue.
Okay, so now we got a major top end summarize customer city net and net descending. That's what I was expecting. I have got a little better result sometime where it used the calculate and the net and then done it. And there are chances when I have asked it, like say, do you know about the new window function? And it keep on improving. Like when I asked few days back, it might not be aware of that. Now in the newer version, it is aware. So we can ask, can you use window function in place of top end? And this will be the last question. We will now jump onto the Power BI service again, and therein we will check out there is something known as data agent, and then we will jump onto the SQL UIs. Okay, it did tried. Okay, add column, summarize, rank. No, so it's not able to. So window function is not so new. It did came around December 2023, but still, as you know, the training happens on the data which is majorly available, and it do sideline some which is lesser available. So it is not able to give, but it does a good job in generating measures, and better the instruction, better the results it provides. So it's all about training. Now, so we seen Power Query we can we can add pages in Power BI. The viewer can ask questions. Can we create something like data agent? And why data agent is so important? Because the world is going to be of data agents. Future is all about data agents. So agentic AI we keep on talking. So here what we are going to do is we are going to see, can we create a data agent? So we have option in our workspace new item, and in that one we have an option for data agent. New data agent preview, it is there, and you might have to enable the preview setting from your tenant to use that. I already created one, and just to save the time I'm going to open that, and I'll tell you what all step I have done. Now, when I came for this one, it will going to ask me whether I want to have a lake house or a warehouse or a semantic model. So I have added a data source. From here, I could have chosen a lake house or a warehouse or a semantic model. I've already chosen the one which is already disabled. Once I choose that, I click on connect. And right now I'm canceling because I'm already connected. And you can choose what table you want. I've chosen all the 4 tables I have. That's there. And post that I have written the AI instruction. So let me open that. This is the same instruction I have shown you some time back. Exactly the similar kind of instruction I have given here. I do talk about, all those things, that I have a table, sales table, how does it join with the other tables, how many rows it has, and all those instructions I have given. Plus, you can also give some example queries. So example queries is basically when you want system to work in a particular manner. So I went ahead and given some example queries. Top 5 selling items by quantity. So select top 5 I name, item name, sum of quantity. From sales item ID, join on item ID. Sales join on item ID equal to item ID group by this, and all those. So I've given such 5, 6 example, revenue, customer, all those. So here, this doesn't know about gross, and my instruction also doesn't contain anything about gross. But what I would like here is I would like to ask it questions about the gross. So what I'm going to do here is I would like to ask it a question. Give me brand wise. So I did tell the about relationship. Okay. So this is data agent. Again, performance is a little bit dependent on your capacity. Right now I'm using the base capacity, which is F2. And you can see I got, here's the top brand wise gross sales data. Okay. And then if you look at the steps, it do talk about analyze database. It do tell you the query which it actually has run. Okay. So all these, and there is also a way you can know how you arrived at that. Fine. We change the question and we ask one more question. Top 10 cities by revenue. So gross, I have not given the gross formula. It did came out with gross. So neither my instruction nor my example talk about gross. So now I'm asking about revenue. Revenue, I did talk about it. Okay. So it able to connect gross and revenue. So top 10 cities by revenue is something I'm asking for. And it's trying to understand that against now it did given some result revenue. We can check out how did it arrive. Okay, it arrived using this, and you can see top 10. Now what I would like to check, and especially I'm asking this question because in the morning when I done experiment, it was not able to understand net, and on one more UI did understand the net. So I'm saying, okay, top 10 states by net. Net is gross minus discount amount, and there's no discount amount column. Okay, there is a discount percentage column, and that to an absolute number. So I'm just trying to see, is it able to drive what is my discount amount? Because it's able to create gross. So is it able to create the net also? And this is sometime when you have unclear instructions, the AI may not able to perform the job, but it does create it something, gross revenue minus discount amount. But is it really done that job? Okay. So it says price into quantity 1 minus discount percentage by 100 as net revenue. And this is the formula actually I needed. And I'll tell you, in afternoon, I tried few times, it did not understand the same instruction. But this time it has given me perfect answer. So it did learn from the things which you are doing and able to give me the answer. So this is, how minimalistic this instruction could be, that I'm not telling you that, discount is actually not a discount percentage. It's actually um, containing the percentage. I did try to add some instruction to this one, and let's see, is that instruction still added? I did not save that. I don't see that instruction added. So it is just when I executed last time and I given the formula, seems like a learning from there, but you can see it able to create something which is not available at all and not even given by me. So this is how data agent along with your training is going to perform really well. And you can use this along with your other data agents, which is created in Copilot. There's an integration available. You will be able to use those. So this is what we call data agent in Microsoft Fabric, the agentic AI you are looking forward to in future. But we do have, lake houses, warehouses, and we do tons of SQL, isn't it? So I also wanted to test the SQL UI, and you can see that there is already something which is already pasted here, because in the morning I was trying these things out. And again, here the thing is, there is no instruction in the SQL. There is no instruction. There is only a schema. This is a lakehouse schema. The tables are saved as delta table. T-SQL is an endpoint which has been given on lakehouses. It is actually not native, because the table, this is governed by Spark, and we are using the T-SQL endpoint, the endpoint which has been provided us, and that's the beauty, because we have T-SQL endpoint for lakehouses and the native warehouses. Warehouses are T-SQL native. So I'm going to ask the same question I asked in the morning. Provide, and instead of provide, I say prove me the query, analyze brand wise gross sales. And let me see, does it, and I can remove what was previously given here. And it did give me a query. And let me insert that query and see, it is able to create gross sales. I have not told anything about the relationship here. At least in the data agent, we went ahead and talk about relationship. We do talk item join with on item ID, sales join with item on item ID. This is the join. We are not talked about anything. Just based on the schema, I did arrive to that conclusion. What is going to be the join? And I'm telling you, this is since the very first time I'm doing it. And I can execute it and it works. Okay. And now let's do the same thing which we have done for the net. Top 10 cities by net. Net is gross sales minus discount amount. And here I'm saying discount percentage in absolute in table need to be divided by 100. Let's see. It has given me one more query. Let me put that inside. And here what you will see here is, see this price multiply by quantity and price multiply by quantity discount percentage and all this. It did seems like it has missed out some parentheses or something. It did happen in the past also. So here there is a square bracket missing in the quantity. And I did observe that same thing happened in the morning, but it happened with the previous query, not this query. Let me select this query and run it. So it did created a formula, and you can see this formula is a little different from the formula which created in data agent, where it's done 1 minus something. And I did checked out, this is 150 1k, which is gross, and discount amount is 34 and 116 is the net sales. So we can see how intelligently the queries has been designed. Now this is where we call Microsoft Fabric for citizen developer, no code, low code citizen developer. Because here I am a person, I'm on a SQL UI. I don't know how to write down a SQL statement. I know only basic of SQL, maybe just because I'm able to correct those brackets and everything. And I'm still getting a query where the formula based on, 2 columns, and then I say discount percentage is getting generated. So AI is helping me to increase my efficiency as a developer, enabling citizen developer to also go ahead and write down the queries and able to get the desired results. And this is same true across all the experiences in Microsoft Fabric. You could be doing same thing on notebooks. You could be doing same thing on other UIs which we have provided in Microsoft Fabric. Wherever Copilot is available, you will be able to ask questions in natural language and will be able to get your answers. Those answers could be as a viewer, the visuals, or those could be the helping in developing the code or developing your transformation, so that you can provide the transform data or you can provide the reports to the end user. With that, we will open for Q&A.
Amit, I think we do have a couple of questions, but just wanted to check on the time. We have another 8 to 9 minutes. Do we have some content pending, or are we done with it?
See, I have covered up the content almost.
Okay. All right. I think we have a couple of questions. Do we need to create a vector embedding for that table data, whichever you show, or will Fabric take care of it?
No, we have not created any vector embedding. Fabric takes care. Am I audible?
Yeah, now I think your voice was breaking.
Is it better now?
Yeah, better now. So if you could just repeat the
Yep.
response, that
So
will be
yeah, I'll
nice.
go. So we have not created any kind of vector embedding here. It is just the instructions in most of the cases, and in some of the cases there is no instructions. Microsoft Fabric copilots are taking care when you use them for first time. They learn from there and they continue from that. So it's internally happening. We are not doing anything from front end.
Okay, and we have one more question. Would you say that Copilot or agent has already progressed to the point where Fabrics can be presented as SaaS for end user to operate autonomous from the platform without the need for technical experience or exposure?
Okay, so basically, Fabric is a SaaS platform. So there's no doubt about that. Now, co-pilots and agents, they are at a little early stage. While you know that we have done so much of task and it is able to do, but right now it is a co-pilot. It do help you. So you does need to have a knowledge of the subject. You need to know a little bit of DAX. So it is helping you out to improve your efficiency. At that stage, it is there. It's not at a stage where you don't know anything about SQL and still it will be able to give you 100% accurate result. It's reaching towards that, but right now, yes, you are going to get the answers. It's going to help you, reducing your time to write down the code. And day by day it is increasing. There will be a time when as a citizen developer I can do anything without knowing, let's say, Power Query and SQL, and I'm still be able to do that. But yes, that's the path we are on. It's a journey.
Okay. Uh, do we have time for another question?
Yes, we have time.
Okay. Can we, Kalyan, he's asked, can we integrate the Fabric data agent or Copilot into another RAG or multi-agent application?
See, there are APIs, REST APIs, which is available for that. I think we are trying the integration with the Microsoft um, data foundry, and we are able to do that. So definitely there are integration available. So Copilots integrations are something which is available and that can be explored.
Okay. All right. I think we are done with the questions, Amit. So even if we have few questions, we will leave your social handles, your code, your QR code connects to all your social media, because we do have a lot of questions coming in. Or if you have time, the live stream, YouTube live stream is available. You can just comment over there and you can find all the comments by the audience. So without further ado, thank you so much, Amit. I understand you have a flight to take and you have to leave. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate your time here in Copilot Chronicles. Definitely looking at the question flow, we feel that audience are really interested to know more advanced topic on it and more use cases, and I think it more of a open discussion form. That's the kind of questions that we are getting. So we'll try to change the format of it for this kind of a session and see if we can have audience interact with you and you answer their questions. So thank you so much, Amit, again, and have a safe journey. And hope, Path, thank you so much for being a great host. Thank you so much again, all. See you in the next season. Bye.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kamal. Thank you, Amit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pa. Thanks, Kamal. Have a great
Yeah.
evening.